All right, hello everyone. In this video we're going to be looking at optics in WAEC physics practicals. That is the one that has to involve rectangular glass prism. Now it may interest you to note that all physics practical usually follow the same patterns. That is physics practical that involve triangular glass prism. So you always get the angle of either angle of incidence or the glance angle. That is the angle that the incident ray makes with the glass. So it's the same thing. You may either be given the angle of incidence or the glass angle to take measurement. Then you also have to get this trace and the emergent rail on the side. So it's basically the same principle. So we'll just read through this and carry out these experiments quickly. So here we're going to have FIS. Okay, you have been provided with a rectangular glass prism, optical pins, and other necessary apparatus. Using the above diagram as a guide, carry out the following instructions. So it's very important to look at the diagram and also follow the instructions that are given. So the first one here is that fix the drawing paper provided to the drawing board. Okay, so you're going to fix the drawing paper with either thumb pins or sellotape to the edges of the paper to the drawing board. Place the glass prism on the drawing paper and trace out the outline A, B, C, D of the prism. Normally you're going to do this for different angles. Okay, so we have 25 degrees. You're going to repeat it for 35, 45, 55, and 65. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so when you trace out that outline, remove the glass prism, mark a point O on AB such that AO is about 1/4 of AB. So this is the length AB. So this is AO. It should be about 1/4 of the length of this, whatever length you take out of this. So it should be about, not exactly that 1/4, but at least about 1/4. That's 1/4 of the length of this. So draw a normal through point O. So you draw a normal through this point. Okay. Then also draw an incident ray to make an angle I is equal to 25. So you're going on this normal here, you're going to draw 25 degrees with this angle here. Sometimes it could be theta and this will be the angle here. So it's just simply, so this, if this is 25, this could be 75, because the sum of these two angles must always be 90 degrees. So that's what you should always take a look at. Always note whether it is the angle of incident that is given or the glance angle on the other side. Okay, with the normal or fix 2 points P1 and P2 on the incident ray. So we're going to carry out all these instructions and see how it looks like. So replace the prism, fix 2 other pins at P3 and P4 such that the pins appears to be in a straight line with the images of the pins at P1 and P2 when viewed through the block along DC. So the reason why I'm trying to do this experiment is this can be one of the most difficult experiment that you can find, or the one of the hardest, of which they are actually not very that difficult. They are just the same. They follow the same pattern, just that WAEC just come up and add 1 or 2 cases to it. Okay, so what we're going to do then is okay, remove the prism. Okay, we've done that. Then with O as center and using any convenient radius, draw a circle to cut the incident ray and the refracted ray at E and H. So you can see this is E and this is what? H. So just take convenient radius. We're going to carry on and maintain this radius throughout the experiment. So you're not going to change the radius again. Once you take a particular radius, that's the radius that you're going to take throughout the experiment. So you're going to need a compass also, so you will not have to adjust your compass. Okay, draw perpendiculars EF. So this one and this are EF, so you have to draw straight line from E to F, and another one GH from this line to this point here. Okay, measure and record D equals EF. So this is the EF and I equals GH. So the length between this and this is GH. Repeat the procedure for 4 other values of I equals 35, 45, 55, and 65 respectively. In each case, measure and record D and what? I. So you have to always measure this and this. Okay, determine the slope of the graph. Okay, plot a graph of D on the vertical axis against I on the horizontal axis. Determine the slope of the graph. State 2 precautions taken. So we'll look at all of that. You can also be asked to evaluate. So what you're going to look at is this: the plotting of D against I. WAEC did something last year. Instead of plotting this on the vertical axis and the horizontal axis, they said plot this on the abscissa and the ordinate. So the y-axis is the ordinate, while the x-axis is the abscissa. So let's take our traces and plot the point. Now, there is something that you need to know. Do not plot your traces on only one block. Draw 5 separate blocks for the experiment, because if you do that, WAEC is going to mark it, but they are going to deduct some marks from your work if you plot, if you do everything inside one block. So do not draw all the rays inside one block. So draw 5 separate blocks and 5 separate rays. So let's quickly get this started. Okay, so as usual, I usually draw my composite table and look at what I have to do so that I will not have to go back to the instructions again. So this is the table that we're going to use. So we have to measure D. So remember that D is this line here, and E is this perpendicular line joining G and H. D is the perpendicular line joining E and F. So let's carry out the experiment now. So this is my glass block. I'm going to draw out the outline. I'm going to use my pen to draw that so that it will be very visible. That's why I'm going to be using my pen. So I'll draw out the outline. Please use pencil, don't use pen. But I'm using a pen so that we can get a clear view of this. So having drawn this, you remove the glass block. So this is my outline. So I'm going to measure the length of this length here from here to this point. I'm going to measure that now. So the length is around 10 cm, and a quarter of this, so you have to always follow that instruction, is 2.5. So I'm going to draw my normal on this point. What you just need to do is to take your ruler, place it on one of the straight edge like this. That's going to give you 90 degrees. So I'm going to draw this way. It's okay. So having drawn that, now the angle of incidence is 25 degrees. So I'm going to draw 25 degrees to this part here. Okay, so this is my protractor. So I'm going to place this on this and measure 25 degrees from this point here. So it doesn't really matter. So this is 25 degrees will just be around this part, this point here. So you need to fix your paper so that it doesn't move up and down. Okay, so this is 25 degrees. On that, I'm going to draw a straight line on this from here. Okay, so this is 25 degrees. So I'll draw this way. Then I'm going to take my pins and I'll put one here. Put them close to each other. Do not allow the pins to be far off from each other. And put another one here. Okay, ensure that they are erect and replace the glass block on its outline. Then you are going to come close and look through this side and place 2 other pins on this side. So I'm going to come to this side you need to go to one side, close one of your eyes so that you can easily get it, very easy. So I'll come to this place so I can see it. What I'm doing, I'll use it to block the rays coming from inside that I'm seeing inside. I'll just block them off. So you can move your eyes back and forth to see if they're on the same line. So I'll put it here. Then I'll take the next pin and put it on the same line as the other three. So I'm going to place this here. So that's enough. Then the next you have to do, remove the block, remove the pins, and join this together. So you're going to join these two together like this. Then after joining these two, remove these ones and then join this point, these 2 points together. Okay, so join this. Then take your protractor, your compass rather, take a very small radius, convenient one, place it on this. So this is point also. Just place this on top of this, fix it, and draw an arc across this. Okay, so this is basically the most difficult part, one that you can actually get. That's why I'm doing it. For the other ones, you may not need to draw all of this. So from the instruction, this is point E. So you're going to draw a perpendicular line from there. Just take your ruler, place your ruler on this line, and ensure that one of the markings is on top of this lines. That will give you the perpendicular line. So just do that. Place the marking on top of this line, ensure it's straight on top of the line, then draw this. Okay, so that will give me that. So this is point. So this is E. Okay. So this is point F. And on this, you're going to draw this again. Place this on top of this line, on top of this, and draw a straight line from here to here. So this is G, H. So this is D, and this is I. So the next you have to do is just to take a measurement of this. So from here, my measurement is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be 0.4. So it's 0.4. So I'll just record that to 2 decimal places, 0.40. You can record it to 1 decimal place, but at least 2 decimal places. Okay, then you have to measure this. And from my measurement here, okay, let me place it this way. So from my measurement here, this is 0.125. So 0.25 recorded here. So the next one now, we'll take this and draw another outline. Repeat the same procedure. So I'm going to do it again. Draw the outline again. So you already know what the length is. So I'm going to measure 2.5 from this point. 2.5 centimeter from this point. So this is 2.5 here, around this point. So I'll place this, ensure that this line, straight, this one of the marking on the ruler is straight on top of the line. That will give you 90 degrees. Okay, so I'll draw this way. Okay, remember that this must not be adjusted again. You have to leave it this way. So the next angle is 35 degrees. So you're going to measure 35 degrees on your paper. So you place this on top of this again and measure 35 degrees. So this would be 10, 20, 30, 35 degrees. Okay, so you are measuring from this side. If they give you the angle on this side, so you have to measure from this side. So that's 35 degrees. So the next thing you have to do is to join these 2 points together. So you're going to join the 2 points together. So have this point, this point. So I'm going to join them, draw a line like this. So this will be the angle of incidence. So the next thing you have to do is take one pin, place it here, and take the other one, place it here, and ensure they are straight. So return the block and look through this side again. You have to stay on this side so that you'll be able to look through it. So you have to stay on this side so that you can look through it. So I'm going to stay on this side, then I'll look through it again, then I'll search for the pins inside and block them with this. I'm trying to minimize place, that's why I'm taking these pins closer to the block. So I'm going to place this here. It's very easy if you can look through the block very well. So take the next pin or block the 4 pins together. So I'll use this to block the other 3 pins, including the other one that I placed in. So I'll place this here. So next I'll remove the block. And then join these 2 points together to this point here. So I'll remove this. Then I'll join this point to this. Okay. So I haven't done that. I'll take my protractor again without adjusting, my compass rather, without adjusting, place it here and draw an arc, a circle on this. I need to be very careful. You need a pointed distance so that you don't adjust the compass. Okay, so that gives me my arc. So then I'm going to measure this, place this mark on top of this, to ensure that it is perpendicular, and draw from this tip here. So if I'm drawing this, I'll just measure it from here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me measure it straightforward. So this is 0.6. So I'm going to record that as 0.60. Okay. Oh. Okay, so this was supposed to be 0.25 for the first reading for this. So this should be 0.60. Okay, yes, that's the correct reading. So then I'll have to measure this again. I'll place this on top of this. Place it on top of the straight line and draw this towards this. So the length of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.40. 0.40. So I'll trace out one of these again. So I'll just pause this, make out the traces, then take the point out of it. Okay, so you see that my edges here are not that straight. I'll just use my ruler to work it and then erase this part of it with my eraser. So I'll measure 2.5 from this point again. 2.5 here. So I'm going to draw a normal through this. Just place this number on any of the lines so that it's straight on the line. That will give you 90 degrees. Okay, so measure the next angle is 45 degrees. So I'm going to measure 45 degrees. So I'm going to place it on this again. So this is 90. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 degrees. So I'm going to draw this from here to this point. So it's not compulsory that you have to draw it to that point directly. Just draw a line on that. So we'll take our pins again. Place your pins here again. Then take the other one, place it close to it, and ensure that the pins are erect. One of the precautions is that the pins should not be too far from each other, and you should ensure that the pins are always upright or erect. So this time around, I'm going to look through this side again, then place my pins. So I'm going to have this. I'll look through this point. Ensure that the two pins are on the same straight line. Okay. So I'll get the point here. And the next point on this. So I'll remove the pins and join these 2 points together. This point and the other point. So I'm going to join them together. Move these pins. Join these 2 points together. These points together. Okay. So again, I'll take this. Then I'll draw my circle around this. Okay. So you need to get a sharp pointed pair of compasses. Okay, so again I'll take the top this pen, place it on top of this, on this point here, on this edge here, and ensure that this is straight on this line. So join these 2 points together. So you can measure them together. This is going to be, just measure that one. So this is going to be 0.6, 0.7, 0.80. So I'll record that at 0.80. Mind you, depending on the size of the radius that you take, that's what you get for the value of this. But what you should know that the ratio of this line to this line, whatever the size that the size of this cycle, must always be what? The same. So the ratios must always be the same. Okay. So I'll take this again from the edge here, and I ensure that it's on this straight line. So from edge, I'm going to draw this. So then I have to measure this again. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 0.45. So that's what I arrive at there. So I'm going to pause the video and just work all others out. So I believe that with this you have an idea of how this can be done. So I'm going to complete the table. So this is the last trace that I can have on this paper. So the essence of this is to be able for you to get the idea of how this is done. Now, because you may also be asked to find the lateral displacement. So I'll find a question on that. So the question has no relationship with this, but I'll show you that question, then I'll tell you what to do in case that is being asked rather than this. Okay, so there are so many possibilities. So I'm going to show you 3 possibilities of the question that you can get, and they all follow the same pattern. So I'm going to bring I'm showing you the next question. We'll add it to this. So we're going to add it to this. Then I'll show you another question. We'll also add it to this. So that we'll have 3 varieties. Then afterward, in my next video, I'll show you how you can actually get your result without actually trying to look through all these mirrors and everything to get your result. So it's basically the same procedure, but you just have 1 or 2 questions that they ask you to carry out, which is different from this. So I'm going to show you that question, then we'll add that to this. So this is another type of question. In this question, you are given this angle. Okay, you are given the glance angle now. Okay, then you are asked to look for the lateral displacement. So you see that it's not a big deal. So the lateral displacement, when you are asked to do this, what you simply do is this rail here, you have to trace it down to touch this part. When you trace it and to touch this part, you take the perpendicular distance from here to that line. When you take the perpendicular distance from here to this line, you measure it. So that's going to give you the lateral displacement. So I'm going to try that out now so that we can see how that is done. So I've just worked that out. So basically this video is going to help you with whatever the practical that it is, whatever the question comes from. You can be asked to look for the displacement. You can be asked to look for the first one that we did, which involves this one. So what you now simply do is this. So I'm going to take my ruler. So here we can reach through this. So for each ray, measure and record the angle of incident I. So you have to measure this angle if that's the instruction that you're giving. In the question, you may be given this or the glass angle, like I said earlier. Okay, I and the corresponding lateral displacement. So this is the lateral displacement, just the perpendicular line drawn from this line to this point. So that's what you have to do. Then you're asked to draw a smooth curve. So depending on that, but if you're asked to do this, so what you just simply do is this. Take your ruler. So it means that this rail will be drawn this way from here and trace it downward this way. Until it touches this. So from this line, draw a perpendicular bicycle. So place this on top of this and ensure that it is this line. One of the marking on this is on top of this line. Once the marking is on top of this line, you have what? A right angle. So you draw it to this point. If it doesn't touch it, then you join it together. So this is my lateral displacement. So what you have to do is just measure please do not forget that these are 2 separate experiments, but I'm just trying to show to you that in case that is what you are asked to do, you can do this. So just place this on this and measure this. So this is going to give me 0.8. So my D here now is my D here for this one, not the D on this one, is 0.8. Okay, so again for this one you do the same thing. So you place this on top of this. Okay, place it on top of the line, ensure that it is straight and trace it downward this way. Then place your ruler on this edge first, then adjust it until this one of these edges touches straight on this line. So draw a line like this, again like this. So you see it touches this at this point. So that's the lateral displacement. So I'm going to measure this. So for this is 2.1. So that's what I have, 2.1. So my D here is equal to 2.1 centimeter. Okay, so we can also do it for this. Come to this place, place this on top of this. Okay, so you trace this outline, trace it down this way. Then place this on top of on this edge. Okay, and ensure that you get a line, a straight line on top of this. Then you adjust it this way. So this line, one of the marking on this must be on top of this. If one of the markings on top of the line, then you have what is, you have a right angle. Okay, so you can see from here. So you draw this from this point this way. If it doesn't touch, join it. So let's measure that again. So this is going to give me 2.5678. So my D here is equal to 2.8. So you see, as the angle of incidence is increasing, the lateral displacement is also what? Increasing. So I'll do it for this again. So place this on top of this. Then trace it this way. So it doesn't really matter whether it comes out of this side or that. So all you have to do is this. Place this on top of this line. Place it on top of this line. Then push it, adjust it to this point here. Ensure that one of this marking is on the line and this corresponds to this point here. So in that way you get a right angle to this. So you draw this. Okay, I can adjust this a bit forward. Then you draw this way. So you mark this way, then you take the reading again. So this is going to be 3 point. So this is 3.2. So my D here is equals to 3.2. So you see, with one experiment, I have been able to carry out 2 experiments actually. So these are the kind of questions you may be expected, you may be asked to do. So in this case, now whatever they ask you to plot, I don't want to know about that. What I just want to show to you is that you should be able to know that if it's this is what they want you to do, or if it is this is the one they want you to do. So remember that if you have to do this, you are not required to draw this, and if you have to do this, you are not required to do all of this. So I'm just showing that. So I'll show you another question that is possible that you can get from this. So this is another possible question that you can also get again. So in this case now, I'll just go to what they asked us to do. So you have to draw an incident ray of angle which is equal to 25 degrees. So here you are drawing this in this case. Fix 2 pins at point P and Q. Okay, that's the normal this thing. So let's see what they asked us to do. Remove the block and join the point arrow. So you get this point arrow. Okay, these 2 point arrow and arrow, and join NX. So this line is what they want you to do now. So in this case, you know, we already have that line here. So we already have the line here, this line. So these are the lines, these ones. So these are the lines. This one we already have now. So this one is straightforward. And in this case, you are asked to evaluate the length of L. So the length of this. So in this case, the length of L will be this. This is what you just have to measure. And you have to measure this. There are some you'll be asked to measure. So you draw this normal, draw it down to this place. You'll be asked to measure the length between the normal and this point, and also this length again, and they ask you to evaluate. So these are the possible questions that you can get from this. So I'm sure that with this video, I've been able to cover a lot that you can get from this experiment. Okay, next, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you a very short way trick that you're going to use to carry out this experiment in my next video. So as usual, do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Your comments is very, very important, and I hope you're going to do well with your exam, and I wish you all the best in this your practical exam.